Yo, Moderate Cyclist here, another Zwift Racing League recap. And what a nightmare this one has been. My recording crashed, so I was not able to produce this recap as easily as I had done the previous ones. Big shout out and thanks to Josh Harris from the Aero A team, who has done a stream and a live record of this race, so I'm able to steal a little bit of his footage. This race is 2 laps of Suki's playground, coming to a total of 36.8 kilometers with just a touch under 300 meters climbing. The climbs, there's 2 times up the King of the Mountain, which is pretty short and sweet, but very punchy. After that, there is a little bit of a false flat, which catches you off guard, but largely not a huge amount of climbing in this course. Fairly aggressive start, with the pack making their intentions known early. We're rolling at about 4.5 to 5 watts per kilo straight out of the gates. For me, that's really tough, especially in anticipation of some punchy climbs that are to follow. At 4Ks in, this is the first attempt at a break. There's around about 30 people testing the water and making a gap. This is really early in the race, and anybody who wants to stay a part of this really needs to make a decision and pull through. You can see here that everybody gets back on and we get into the start of the first climb. I knew this was going to be the make or break part of this, but after the heavy lead out I only had so much left in the tank. You can see Josh takes away at around about 6 to 7 watts per kilo. He passes me and I'm around about 5. I quickly lift and start keeping with the pack. I managed to stay with the group through the major bends of this climb, and I do get to the top, still a part of the main group, but that's when it sort of starts to thin out a little bit. The guys on the front are really pulling away and the guys on the back are really struggling to hang on. The group stretches right out through this little village bit here, through these kind of undulating hills. When you pop out on the other side of this village, there is a brief respite, but it is only very brief. It's kind of a false flat as it climbs its way up to the second village. The top guys here just don't let their foot off the gas, and this is really what makes the difference. They kind of treat the 2 climbs like one climb and keep pushing through at that kind of 6 watts, 7 watts per kilo. And that's it. That's about where I am done. I'm off the back with around about 10 riders, and you can see some of the front guys really put down the hammer here. Josh, who I think ends up leading this pack through most of the race, he's hitting it up around 10 watts per kilo as they pull away from the main pack. This leaves me in a small chase group with Aaron from my team and Todd from the Aero 2 team, trying to work out how we can collect some of the minor points. We notice there's a BL13 rider up the road. They've been the greatest competition for our Aero 1 team, so we decide the best strategy for us is to try and take some points away from them. We team up to make chase and close the 22-second gap. It then becomes a matter of tactics for how we can finish with the most amount of riders ahead of him. In the end, I had the most legs left to go after the line sprint. I'm putting it in as hard as I can here, holding 6 watts to the line, but I do manage to hold him off and we manage to get a few points back on their team. Not much more to add here, as unfortunately the lack of recording does not do justice to the epic battle for 52nd place. Until next time, see ya!